All right, welcome everyone. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. So this is the weird, got a weird sound there. Right, I have the YouTube live stream up on a different tab, so it's kind of echoing. Anyway, so yeah, it's the TA Tuesday live stream. Today we're going to be taking a look at the crypto and legacy markets, and I'm also going to be trying to add some educational content as well. If you guys have any short request or anything you want me to look at, let me know in the comments, and I will try to help you out to the best of my abilities, if that's even the right word. And before we start this, I would like to give a huge thank you to PrimeXBT for sponsoring these live streams. So if you want to support me and you want to trade on an exchange where you can trade crypto and forex, definitely sign up to PrimeXBT. You can find the link in the description below, and if you use that link, you can also get up to a 7K deposit bonus. I do believe that I've added. So throughout the live, I will use the chat and I will post a couple of 10% discount codes. So you'll get a deposit bonus of the code, the Lips42 code gives you a 7% deposit bonus. And the codes that I will give you in the chat will give you a 10% deposit bonus. So definitely check that out if you want to get some good deposit on your, good bonus on a deposit. Basically what it is, you're getting free margin, free leverage, basically. All right. So first off, we're going to be taking a look at the, one trade I'm currently in right now, which is this oil trade. I did not post a trade idea in the community. So the last idea I posted in the community was this USD SAR long, the USD versus the South African rand. So let's take a look at that chart quickly, because I kind of want to break down my thought process on that one. So if you look at and USD South African rand, this was basically the idea with this whole trade right here. So we're going to take a look at this one, and then oil, and right after we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and the crypto market as well, because we do have some potentially interesting stuff going on in crypto today. And obviously also we have some we have a USD news event in about 2 hours 15 minutes, I believe. So that might add some volatility to USD pairs, and of course also with that some volatility possibly on Bitcoin as well. Anyway, let's look at this USD SAR trade right here. So the whole idea was, you look at the overall trend, it's obviously bullish, right? And even though you can kind of see here that there's a possible there's a possible range forming here, right? Some type of range forming here, but we also had a possible range forming here. So I would say, and also here. So I would say that this price action right here that looks like a possible range has happened multiple times before in this same trend. So I would say that this is very much in the, very much in accordance to the behavior of the trend, right? So we saw that price came down and it hit it's going to hit the monthly open and the daily 20 EMA, confluent with that trend line, and that trend line is created by connecting these lows right here. We also see a touch right here and almost touching right here. So it's a pretty decent trend line. And one thing I like to do when adding trend lines to the chart is I like to use the parallel channel tool in TradingView. So you can see here, if you add that parallel channel tool parallel to this trend line right here, and then we're going to lower it down here, you'll see that you create a can actually make it a little bit bigger to the upside, perhaps hit the wicks of that one right there, and then we can remove that trend line. Now what this does is it creates the same type of trend line, but using the parallel channel tool, you have a broader trend line. It's almost like a trend line, but just a very fat, broad level line, right? So you see here that price hits this level very nicely. You can see the lower part of that trend line area here, and then kind of hitting that from the upside, and then resistance, support. It's pretty good, right? Now that's usually how I like to draw them. It looks much cleaner and it's kind of easier to trade. It gives more room for error, right? So price comes down, it hits that monthly open and the daily 20 EMA and that lower part of the the upper part of the trendline area, and also the lower part of the RLZ, the 0.786 right here. And so right now it kind of looks like a good level for a potential buy. But what I would want to see here before I take a trade, I want to see confirmation that price is ready to move higher. And that would be like something like this, closing above the 50% fib right here. Now that 50% fib is also confluent with the 20 and the 50 EMA on the 4 hours. So if price reclaims the 50, you would also be above all these significant moving averages that I'm using in my trading system, which is the daily 20 and the daily 50 EMA, the 4-hour 20 and the 4-hour 50 EMA. The 4-hour 50 and the 4-hour 20 is represented, the area between the both of them is represented by this cloud, and that cloud is the indicator that I'm using to get signals on potential trade setups. So let's look at the actual candle that kind of sparked my interest in this trade. That was that one right there. So when we had that candle close right there, I decided to put in orders for this trade, and that would be the trade, right? Now the problem here is it almost came down and tested that level. You can look at the 1 hour. It had like a wick testing the level right here, but it didn't come down, like it didn't come down and test this area right here, but it continued higher. So the bounce seems to have already happened right here, and we're now reaching the TP1 area. So this trade right here is, I removed orders for that trade right there. And honestly, guys, like it's honestly quite boring market out there, right? It's really a market like this is really testing your patience, because as you know, every experienced trader know that it's all about waiting for the right opportunities, right? It's all about waiting for the right opportunities, letting the markets kind of, you have to monitor the markets, you have to observe and listen to the market, and just sit on your hands and wait for the market to give you something, right? And it's really going to test your patience, because you will feel that urge to take a trade, and you need to at all costs resist that and make sure that you're not trading on your, taking trades based on your emotions. The other trade that I'm currently in is this oil trade right here, and I'm not feeling great about this one for different reasons. The only thing that really kind of what I'm really liking about this is the daily chart, because the daily chart is about to give us a very nice rounded rejection of this horizontal level confluent with the weekly open. And we also have, by adding the fibs here from that low, I mean that high to that low, we see that price comes up and gets rejected inside the reload zone, confluent with all the the daily 20 and 50 EMA, and is giving us multiple short signals right here. And I'm going to secure this trade quite quickly. As soon as price hits that alert level right there, I'm going to move stops to entry. I'm going to secure this trade quickly because I'm not really feeling great about it. I think it's not the best trade, but I'm in the trade right now, and it has some logic behind it. It kind of makes sense. So we'll have to let the trade run, right? Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I have one idea that I'm kind of working on. Well, not working on, but it's an idea, right? It's this level right here. First of all, let's take a look at Bitcoin, right? It's quite interesting that we are, inside the high time frame. Let's remove that to make it a little bit cleaner. It's very interesting that we are inside the high time frame reload zone by putting the, let's see if this is the right settings on this one. Yeah. We are right now measured from the very low here all the way up to the all-time highs. We are right now inside the long RLZ, and it would make perfect sense to actually see this level be the high time frame bottom for Bitcoin. It would absolutely make 100% sense right here, and I would love to see something like this, right, where you have a double bottom forming here on the daily inside the long RLZ. That would be absolutely fantastic to see. Now, given the overall macroeconomics, it's not like I'm not really seeing any obvious signs of a risk on push at this moment. But if we can see something like that on the higher time frames, that would be, in my opinion, very bullish for Bitcoin. Now, on the lower time frames, I mean, we've been trading in, well, first of all, we've been trading in a very tight range for like 40 days. It's been 40 days inside this very tight range. And then if you look at the daily, if we look at this as like the major range, if that's the major range, we have actually been inside this range for 130 days, even 100 and, well, we broke down 135 days ago. So it's been a very long time inside this range right here. And it's kind of like getting tighter and tighter. It's like it's just about to explode. It looks like now. Is that going to be to the upside or downside? I have no idea. But one thing I'm watching here is this level right here, the level that is confluent with the 4-hour moving average right here. It's not like this. It's not the best analysis, honestly, but it's kind of like there's something to it, right? If you add the fibs from that low to this high, you'll see that we are also right now inside the long RLZ of this latest up move, and a move from current prices up to the weekly open. It's a very small move, right? But the price, price push up to the weekly open, it might make sense, right? And if that happens, we're gonna look at altcoins to see if we might see an altcoin that is in an uptrend, and we might want to long that uptrend while Bitcoin makes its move up to the weekly open. So I'm going to be posting a 10% code from PrimeXBT in the chats. So make sure you use that one. First one that it only has one use, so you can't use it twice. So make sure that you grab that one. It's a 10% code for your next deposit on PrimeXBT. By the way, guys, the lists that I have up right here on the live stream right here is going to be, I'm going to give them out for free, a public list. So you can go right here and you're going to be able to see this list in real time whenever I update this. So if you go and subscribe to my newsletter, which is available on my Twitter profile and also in the link in the description below. I'm also gonna send a link to the newsletter in the chat so you can check that out. So if you sign up to that newsletter on Friday, I will be sending out a new newsletter with links to the public green list and the orange list. And the orange list is for the legacy markets, while the green list is for the altcoin market. And the way that this is set up is obviously open trade is where I have open trades. If you look at the orange list, you will see this live, and you will see that I currently have an open trade on oil. And number one of this list, the section number one, the coins in this first section is the most interesting pairs where I see a setup forming in the next hours or days. And number two is pairs that are interesting that might form a setup in the near future, but I'm not seeing any clear setup right now, but the trend and structure is interesting. So if you follow these, and what I do is I upgrade it completely once a week, and then I have small upgrades. I move around the pairs, and the ones at the top of the first list is the most interesting ones of the list number one. And I do this on a daily basis. So if you check those two lists on a daily basis, you will know what my focus are in both the legacy and the altcoin market. Anyway, that is the idea on Bitcoin. Now, which are the altcoins which are showing a decent uptrend? I would say that right now we have Aave. Aave is somewhat interesting right here. Looking at the daily, it's obviously in a local downtrend right here on the daily. But on the 4-hour, it's actually hitting it's above the daily moving averages, it's above the 4-hour moving averages, and it's hitting a pretty interesting support right here, confluent with the 4-hour 50 EMA. So I think there's something to this, right? There's definitely something to this, and if Bitcoin can make a move to the upside, we might have a trade here on Aave. Let's see if that fib level makes sense. Not really. If you fib this whole move, that kind of makes sense. Let's see how it looks on the daily. That does make sense on the daily. Doesn't make sense on the 1 hour. Well, not really. But it kind of makes sense. I guess I'll have to go with this one for the targets. Yeah, that's probably the one I'm going to go with. It kind of makes sense. I like the fact that the RLZ is a good confluence here with the support level, but this is definitely a pair we're going to be watching. I have an alert about the 50. I'm going to be putting an alert about below the reload zone as well, because when price gets below the reload zone, it would be invalidated. Another one I'm watching is AR, which is not as good looking as Aave. I think right now Aave is the most interesting altcoin to long. YFI is in a good uptrend, local uptrend at least. Not sure if there's going to be a trade here, but I mean, if we could get a move all the way down here, and at that point it might be interesting, but yeah, it's going to take a while, and I'm not even sure if that's a good idea, because then price is going to be below the 4-hour moving average, right? Another one is HT, the Hyobi token, which I'm looking to perhaps go long down in this area right here at around 8. So let's see if we can get anything going on that one. I'm thinking about perhaps taking a scalp trade on my PrimeXBT account. So this one right here. I'm gonna see if we can find a possible scalp trade to take here live on PrimeXBT. So what I have to do is I have to go to look at the lower time frames, and we're going to be basing these scalps on the indicator on the lower time frames. So let's see if we can find anything interesting here. I'm thinking we might want to look at the 5 minute on Let's see, we got Bitcoin. How's Bitcoin looking on the 5-minute? Yeah, this we're not gonna be able to trade. Like there's nothing interesting going on Bitcoin. It seems like it's just in a forever range right here. But there's not even any clear trends on the 1 minute here. It's just it's dead, right? So let's see if we can find anything in the forex market. Basically, we're going to be looking at the 5-minute. Let's see if we can find any interesting trends on the 5-minute where we can use the RLZ slingshot system to find any decent trade entries based on that. And it doesn't seem to be very many. So I'm on the 5-minute right now. It really is a pretty dead market right here. We have potentially something going on Euro GBP. And that would be this right here. I'm just going to take a quick look at the oil trade, which looks to be back at entry. All right, so back to Euro GBP. So let's add this to should make a new list. PrimeXBT scalping. Just gonna go back. Right, Euro GBP looks somewhat interesting for potential scalp. Euro CAD, nothing. Euro AUD, nothing here. Right, so basically what we're looking for is clean trends where you can get in on a bounce or rejection inside that trend, confluent with the moving averages of the system, which is the 4. Well, right now it's a 20 and 50 EMA. Let's change the indicator to 100 to get some extra. This could be interesting. So let's add gold to that list. Oil? No, not oil. All right, so we'll have Euro GBP or gold. So I'm going to go down to the 1 hour, the 1 minute on Euro GBP. Now, what I want to see here is this structure. This whole structure kind of needs to break like this. And we would short it from here with stops above the structure. But that kind of looks like it's not going to happen. Because if we break out here, perhaps go up and test the weekly open, this whole idea would be invalidated. So let's see. Same with gold. we will want to see a break and retest of the 50% fib right there. So that would be the trade on the 1 minute. I mean on the 5 minute for gold. So let's add some take profit levels right here. And we'll look at GBP as well, Euro GBP. All right, so it kind of looks like it's breaking out now. I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think we're going to get a trade on Euro GBP. So let's do another scan on the... So we have gold. We actually had a pretty decent long here on the 1 minute. No, not really. You see how when I'm using that low and that high as my fib anchor, the bounce area with the alerts are happening above the 50%. You want that to be on the 50 or inside the long RLZ. That's where you get the higher risk to reward trade, basically. Silver is starting to come down. No, this is gold. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Let's add an alert here on gold. So while we wait for these alerts to do its thing, we can look at we can take another scan on some altcoins. See if we have anything interesting setting up. So I have a list with all the altcoins here on PrimeXBT. So let's go through that one. Well, basically, like, we want to see something that is not in a very obvious range, right? And most altcoins now, especially on the lower time frames, I mean, we're looking at 5 minutes right here. They're in pretty obvious range. It's it's very hard to get a scalp trading on any of these. Well, here's something. What is this? Clay. This makes sense. We're at 15 minute. Where do we have where should we draw the fibs on this one? That. All right, so we're in the 5 minute here. We would need to see. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Like, you see what I'm going through all of these. Like, it's like nobody's trading at this point. It's just nothing going on. It's just extremely boring. I mean, we're just in a range on the high time frames, the lower time frames, everywhere. Well, this is kind of makes sense. So perhaps this would make sense. But I don't know what I'm not sure if these spreads make sense to scalp this. Might be way too low liquidity, but I'm just gonna take, like, I'm thinking I'm gonna risk like $50 or something on this. If I do get a trade in. Right, let's see. All right, so Theta right here, that might be a trade actually. All right, so let's take a small position here. Right. I have no idea what if the spread is just gonna fill me like very much further up. Let's see. I mean, it's on the one minute, right? Let's see what happens here. What pair was it? Theta. All right. I can only, man. I have way. All right. So let's just do. All right. So let's just do a very small trade here. Just on 1 minute. Send order. So what we're gonna do with this one is we're gonna let this one run, right? So I'm currently, oh wow, you see the spread is way, yeah, way too much. Yeah, holy shit, I'm all the way up here. You see? Should probably have checked that before entering. So this is the problem with scalping in the 1 minute on a pair where the spread is where there's very high spread. So you see that you know the buy and sell prices right here, but the market, I got filled up market all the way up here. So I'm probably going to get stopped out of this one. And it basically makes no sense to trade these pairs on the 1 minute. That's why you want to go to like the 15 minute, because you see on the 15 minute you would at least have, you know, some better, and the spreads on the bigger pairs like Bitcoin and Ethereum, that sort of stuff, is just much better. Right, so let's look at gold. Anyway, let's see if we could let this one run. We would let it run up to 1.07, 1.07. Right, 1.07. Wow, that's like a nothing. Right, so let's go back to gold. That's the one right there. So we go to 5 minute. All right, so let's see. That would be the trade then. You have that one right there. Let's see if this makes sense. Stop loss. So I transferred over. So I decided to open a scalping account on PrimeXBT, but I transferred over way too little money. I think it transferred. I thought like 3K would be good enough, but not on the 1 minute with these. All right, so let's look at gold. We're going to be shorting gold based on the 5 minute. Let's do a market sell. And a stop loss is going to be where? Stop loss is going to be 1646. 1646. Yeah, let's do that. Can I go with 10? So to 15. It's going to be 55. Yeah, all right. So that's better. Right here. That's going to be the trade. Now we'll go to the trading view chart right here. Last take profit for this one is going to be all the way down here. And instead of exiting based on the TP levels right here. I'm just going to be exiting fully at the 50% level right here. And so I'll exit 100% down here at that level, and then I'll just I'll just use a trailing stop basically to see how this goes. So that's that one. Can you see the rest? You see the stop loss up here and the take profit. And what's nice about the PrimeXBT here when I'm scalping on it, I can just move the stop loss, very nicely right there. So if we break down, perhaps come down here, I'll move my stops to entries. What I do is I use the alerts on TradingView. So right here, I would say TP1, move stops to entry. And then I would just continue going down like that. So TP2 and TP3, that would be final. So let's see how this. So see right here, it's a pretty good reaction to the 50% right here. So you remember how I wanted to get, the rejection. And if we go out to the higher time frames right here, this is also a support level where I'm basically, you see this blue line right here. I'm waiting for potential swing trade, waiting on entering a potential swing trade right here, and the last take profit of this scalp trade would be the low where I expect gold to bounce and then come up and retest this level right here for a swing trade. Now, looking at this right here, I think we can move our stops lower. Right there. So guys, I'm trading this using USDT, right? And it's the exact same type of trading, same type of TA and trading system that I'm using in the altcoin market. So what's awesome about PrimeXBT is that you have them all on the same platform. You have crypto right here, you have Forex, and then you have indices, oil. You can trade it all on the same exchange using the exact same system, using USDT, which is just a pretty cool thing to have. All right, so let's monitor this one. We have some alerts right here. See if we get stopped out or not on this one. Usually, like the win rate on these scalps are obviously not as high as the swing trades, but the risks are lower, but the risk to reward is much higher as well. So let's go back to the 4-hour. Let's see if we have anything interesting setting up. Let's look at oil. We had the 4-hour candle is closing in about 47 minutes, which means I'm going to get a new round of alerts going off on the 4-hour based on the indicator. So you see these short signals right here. That's now the 100. I'm going to move that down to the 51 right there. So this indicator right here, you see the all the long signals, they get forwarded to this channel right here. So you can see the alerts right here. You can pull up the chart and see if it's a trade worth taking or not. So what you have to do is, if you get these alerts, you have to look at the confluence of the alerts and combine them, compare them with the RLZ slingshot system. And I'm working on, I'm gonna reconfigure all the alerts going into Discord. So I'm gonna reconfigure everything so that I'm back testing what works best to get fewer signals but better signals. So right now I'm using the 20 and 50 and the 51 EMA. And the cool thing about this indicator is everything is actually adjustable. I can adjust everything, right? So in the past, I always had like the 20, the 50, and the 100. But as my system is more based on the 20, the 50, and the 100, in the past I had the 100 as well, but I removed it, and I now only use the 20 and 50 EMA. But let's actually, I'm gonna add one more here. So let's see if we can do something fun here. I'm adding the 100. What color should that be? Probably white. So it would look like this. And the indicator when I'm removing. By the way, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that like button, and it would mean a lot to me, and I really do appreciate all of you. So, all right, so the alert goes off on gold. I'm pretty sure we're going to be in a loss on that one, maybe perhaps getting stopped out. Yeah, it kind of looks like we're getting stopped out on this one. So it was a decent idea, but let's see if we can, we test these highs and see if we can move lower. If we do drop below this local low, I would move my stops down even more. Let's see what happens here. Anyway, so the indicator would look like this, with all of the indicators removed like this, and it creates a pretty clean chart that just looks like this. And what's cool about this one is you can see here that this trade that I took right here, right before this trade, I actually had a short signal on the indicator. So this indicator alerted me to a trade here, a possible breakdown. Now, if I remove the 100, then basically what that would mean is he's adding a 51. I'm getting lots of more signals, but the signals, I'm getting a lot more signals. It happens quicker because the idea with the indicator is that the 20 EMA needs to be below the 50 EMA, and the 50 EMA needs to be below the 100 EMA. And here, by removing the 100 and adding the 51, we're able to get more signals, but the quality of those signals might not be the best. But if you look at the higher time frames, you'll see that it doesn't remove. So if you look at these short signal right here and the long signal, adding the 100 right here doesn't remove a lot of these signals. Not many at all. It just removes the ones down here where price is kind of ranging. So adding that 100 could also be a means of having fewer signals in a ranging market. And it's the indicator doesn't really give perfect buy and sell signals, but you'll see here that it gives very good signals according to the trend, right? So see that it will only give you short signals when there's a downtrend. And here on gold is oil, it's just absolutely, it's very clear that all of these short signals came in a very good looking downtrend. No short signals here. And then we go to this uptrend. Yeah, you have some short signals. These are, I would say, failed signals. But then you have a nice solid uptrend right here with only long signals, and you have a very good looking uptrend right here with some really solid long signals. So it has great potential as a indicator to scan for good trades in a trend. And it's quite simple, actually. It's based on several things, but the most important one is a bullish engulfing candle on the bounce of the 20 EMA and the 4-hour in an uptrend. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that an engulfing candle on the 4-hour 20 EMA with the stochastics RSI confluence, and if it's happening inside the reload zone, that is a one of the main entry triggers of the RLZ slingshot system. So basically what this indicator is doing is it's taking different parts of the RLZ slingshot system, and when they align, they basically tell you that you now have a possible trade here based on that system, but you then have to confirm if the signal is actually good according to the system or not. So looking at this current oil trade right here, is it conflict with the system? Yeah, but maybe not perfectly. Maybe not perfectly. I think it would be best to actually have the 100 right here. So the last stage before I send out all the new alerts would be trying to optimize the difference between using the only the 20 and 50 EMA or adding the 100 EMA as well. It would logically would make sense to have added the 100 as well. We can look at perhaps we could click at USD SAR right here, see how many trades gets how many signals get added if I add the 51 here. Not that many. I don't even think we're getting a single. There's no difference here. There is difference here, right? So that's a really good signal, actually. All right, that is weird. All right, got the wrong one. So there is some changes right here. So if I add 100 right here, it removes that one right there. So let's circle that one, and we're going to be looking at that one. Now that is actually a pretty good trade, because if you add the fibs from that low to this high, it's actually a really good trade, because you can enter on that candle close, stops above the wicks, and well, it's not a very good trade, but the risk to reward is not very good, but it definitely shows that there's potential, right? So it would not give me a signal using the 100, but on the 51, it gives me a signal right here, because you can also see that if I add the 100, the downtrend actually starts. So the downtrend actually starts right here. So you see the switch to gray means that the moving averages are all trending to the downside. So here, the moving averages are still considered to be in an uptrend. So what happens is if I switch the 100 to the 51, it means also that the trend is shifting much quicker, and you're not going to get a short signal in an uptrend when the indicator is blue. So yeah, it takes a lot of time to optimize the best settings, because I'm doing it manually, right? So I'm using my backtesting template. Hopefully you already have access to my backtesting template, but I'm using the backtesting template and I'm manually going through this. I probably have around 1,000 tested trade on this indicator, and I'm testing different things on the indicator. And now I'm at the last stage, which is figuring out if I should use the 100 or the 51. And it's such a small difference. It's such a small difference, but it could make all the difference when it comes to the indicator getting, like the signals getting forwarded to the channel. I think I'm going to use 51, and I'm going to go with slightly more signals with lesser quality, and it's then up to the members of the community to check the signals to see if they align with the trade. Look at that. What's happening on gold? Let's go to the 5-minute. Is all right. It's breaking down. We can now go to PrimeXBT, and we can lower the stop loss some more right here. So the risk of gold bouncing here, you see that is a support level right here. So the risk of gold bouncing here and taking out my stop loss is very high, right? Very high. But I think the risk to reward here is favorable, right? So as soon as we break below this support level right here, we can move stops to entry. So this is our entry right here. And as soon as we break down here, I will move stops to entry, and I'll just forget about this one. Hopefully it's going to hit TP all the way down here, and I'll make, I don't know, like $150 or something like that. Right now it does look interesting. Let's see what happens. And this indicator is actually also quite nice to scalp with. But when scalping, I would use the 100. So we look at the 5-minute right here, and you'll get a. But the problem with scalping with an indicator like this one is you'll have to wait for the signals, and there's going to be a lot of signals, and you confirm the signals. It's just it's very time consuming. When scalping, I like doing it without the indicator actually, because it's we can see here that this is a pretty good signal, that one right there. So what I would do is I would add enter on the candle close, and that would be TP1. I would TP1 at like probably 1.3R, and when that TP1 hits, I would move stops to entry. So this would be a very small winner, right? I would take like TP 50 or 25% right here, and then move stops to entry. This would be just a very small winner, like half an hour or something like that, but it's still a winner, right? And here's another interesting trade. So remember, this is on the 5-minute right here. So let's see, we got this one right here. So I think we get a short signal. We get a short signal here, and I like that one. So we'd enter on the candle close of that one. Stops above the reload zone. We got the TP1, TP2, TP3, and then it actually comes down and perfectly hits that TP3. So the average are this one with 2.3. But if you trade your stops down to the minus 6.8, it would be 3R. So pretty decent scalp, right? It takes this trade right here would have taken you 1 hour 40 minutes. So it's making 3R in 1 hour 40 minutes is obviously very good, very interesting. So I'm actually working on giving the members of the community, especially the trading program members, access to the indicator for free within as a premium of the trading program. And of course, the members of the community would get access to the alerts in the channel. But it is a very valuable tool to have, especially when it comes to using as a market scanner for swing trading, or as a something to scalp with. Let's look at PrimeXBT here again. We got well, it kind of looks like it's potentially about to break down. Let's see, rectangle. We're gonna add a zone right here. I think that's a pretty decent. Not like that. All right, so as soon as we break down here, we're going to be moving stops to entry. Hopefully that happens soon. All right, so let's go back to doing some more analysis. Let's see if we can find another scalp trade on something else. So we're gonna look at the 5 minute again. We got the German 40, the DAX. Nothing here. How's oil looking? USD. Well. This is looking good. Is this a trade? Perhaps it is. It's just 5 minute. What do we have here? Yeah, let's take a trade on this one as well. All right, so we go to USD SAR. I'm already in gold, so let's do lower risk on this one. So we're gonna have stop loss at 1845.6, 1845.6, and we're gonna be entering probably not a market. The spreads on this one is terrible. And I'm gonna get filled all the way up here. So I want to secure the position up here. Yeah, the spreads on this one is not what I'm looking at for a scalp. Let's try to find something else. GBP AD. Now that looks good. I like this one. Look at that. It's pretty decent support level all the way here. And it's also looks like it's potentially testing. Yeah, it came down and tested the reload zone as well. This is a good one. GBP AD should have better spreads on GBP AD as well. It's been such a long time scalping, and I feel like I'm just going to be in 2 minute positions shortly. Let's just do 1787, 1787, 17887, 17887. Let's risk just small. We're already in gold. I feel like gold is going to get stopped out, so let's do small risk, like it's 200, well, maybe a little bit, 15. Right, so we're in this one right there. That's going to be the trade, and the profit on GBP AD is going to be quite big. So GBP AD, we're going to do all the way up at the -236. So it's going to be 1 point. Actually, let's do 1.79999. 1.7999. So it's going to be $80 in profit. So it's a decent risk to reward. I think that's about 3R. So let's go with that one. And we're going to be moving stop loss. So stop loss right here is right on that wick, which is not the best area. And we're going to be moving stops to entry here. And then that last profit would be $7,999. It's TP2 up here. Notice last TP. So can we write something on here? No. Right, let's see what we get here. I think I have in total, I'm risking like $100 right now to win 300, I think. Let's see what we get. GBP AD. So we had stop loss right on that wick. Then we're going to be moving stops to entry here. And that's going to be the last TP right there. So let's see what we get. Gold is having some trouble getting below this support. As soon as it does break down and hit that original, like that, the one I thought I wanted to have TP1 right here, as soon as we break down here, I probably start moving my stop loss to entry. It's getting pretty late here. I need to run down to the store as well, so it's probably not the. This is what I don't like about scalping. You know, it's like you get to be here. I have to be at my desk. I have to be. I need to be watching the markets. I need to be as glued to the screen and just staring at these charts, and everything moves so much quicker. And I have to take, because I'm taking many more trades under a short period. I have to take many more decisions, right? And the more decisions you take within a smaller time frame, the chances are that, I mean, the chances of making a mistake is obviously much higher, right? Let me get some coffee. Like that's gonna help. You know, when I'm swing trading, I mean, you look at the, I mean, it's just such, it's just, it fits me. My personality is much better. So this is the oil trade I took, and I got the signal. I entered orders, and that was like 3 hours ago, 3.5 hours ago. I entered orders, I entered that trade, end stop loss, take profit, all that, and I haven't even watched this chart in 3 hours. Took me 2 minutes to enter the orders. If you combine the time it took me to, verify the alert and entering the orders and everything, it took me like 5 minutes. And with the scalps here, I've been doing this for like 30 minutes just here, and it's going to take a while till I can secure this position. And it's not until I can secure the position that I can relax and do something else. And I don't really like that type of trading, because like with scalping, with swing trading, I can still make a good amount of money by trading much fewer trades and having the trades work in my favor, in the background while doing something else. I mean, I remember I remember this summer being on the beach and having open positions and just seeing them run in profit. Some get stopped out, some hit profit, but I can manage those trades from mobile, because when the alert goes off, I don't have 10 seconds to make a decision. I have like 30 to 60 minutes to take a decision on that trade if I should exit or not. When scalping, it got to be quick. There's no time to waste. You have to take decisions right away. Now, of course, you can make a lot of money scalping. I'm not saying that scalping is not profitable. You can really make a lot of money scalping, but it's very time consuming, it's very stressful, and you have to figure out if it's really worth it, if it's really something that you want to be doing. All right, so we got gold right here. See if we have another one as well. Can I? Oh, man. Right. Let's see. I'm moving my stop just down a little bit on oil. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I'm really managing this one too tightly and too much. Honestly, I feel like I should exit this one. I want to get out of this one as quickly as possible. As soon as it just starts moving down once again, I'm just gonna move stops to entry and get it over with. I'm not really liking this. I'm not liking this at all. Let's go through alerts. Do we have any alerts? Yeah, we have the gold ones, obviously. Long alerts on GBP/NZD. Nothing tradable. GBP/USD. Nothing here. Well, I already went through these alerts actually, so let's clear the log here. It's such a slow market today, and Bitcoin seems to be not bouncing. Let's keep an alert here on above the 50. So Bitcoin is not really bouncing, which means that these altcoins which were in an uptrend, yeah, it's also not bouncing. Yes, I do trade on FTX as well. I do trade on FTX as well. I see that you have, all right, you have a FTX screenshot as well. So the pairs that are not available on PrimeXBT, I do trade them on FTX. Got some spot trading going on Binance as well. But PrimeXBT is my main exchange, and most of my trading is done on PrimeXBT. I mean, they have all the altcoins I need. They have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a pretty solid list of altcoins. And I like the platform for scalping. It's pretty good. GBP/AUD is looking better. I think we should secure that trade right here. Below these wicks right here. So gold is has broken down. So we're now moving stop loss to entry on gold. Gold is secure. And we're getting close to securing GBP/AUD as well. Gold just hit TP1. It's a nice one. Like that. Looks like it's continuing lower. Oil, on the other hand, is not looking that great. I'm very tempted in actually closing this one out, but I'm not going to. I gotta stick with the plan here. All right, guys, I'm gonna send out a one more 10% discount code in the chat. So this is a 10% discount code on PrimeXBT. You can use it if you sign up to PrimeXBT using the link in the description below. And instead of using Libs42 as your code, you can use that code right there, and you will get a 10% discount code. You will get a 10% deposit bonus instead of a 7% deposit bonus, which is the normal one. And guys, if you haven't signed up to my newsletter, do that right now. Go to use the link in the description below or the link in the chat. You can also get the link from my Twitter profile. Check that out. I'm spending a lot of times on the newsletter. It's completely free. It's filled with a lot of educational content and trading content in there. So make sure you check that out. And there's also going to be multiple 10% codes from PrimeXBT in the newsletter that comes out this Friday as well. So very much worth checking that out. And I'm also going to come out with some pretty awesome announcements in the newsletter, where I'm going to be talking some about the community that we're working on. So me and my co-founder and co-founder of RLZ Trading, who are working on opening up the trading room, the RLZ Trading Room, which is going to be a monthly subscription fee based community where you're basically going to be able to follow me, everything I do in trading. We have daily market updates. I post all the trades I'm taking. Personally, I'm trading, and I'm posting them in the Discord channel, and much more. So definitely check that out, in private webinars and all that fun stuff. So sign up to the newsletter if you want to get access to that, and if you want to have priority access to that, you'll be able to get that through the newsletter. All right, guys. So I think what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to leave. So I'm going to leave the desk, and I'm actually going to move stops up just a little bit on GBP AUD here, and I'm just going to let these two positions run. We have GBP AUD and gold, and while gold is bouncing quite nicely right here on TP1, but we have stops at entry on gold, and we're just going to let gold and GBP AUD here run. Let's see if we get anything here. All right, guys, that's it for today's webinar. Some nice live trading, some scalping, and the way I'm scalping is actually quite simple. You might have learned a thing or two in this webinar today, but basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for clear trends, right? I'm looking for very clear trends, and if we have a clear move like this one and that one, I'm adding the fibs from the high to the low. If shorting, I'm looking for price to get rejected inside the reload zone, and then for price to get below the fibs and the EMAs right here, which is the 20 and 50 EMA on the 4-hour, and I then want to see price get rejected with the trend, and I also want a stochastic RSI bull cross or top when there's a rejection inside the short RLC. All right, guys, that's it. Hopefully you like these short scalping sessions. Not very short. We've been doing this for almost 1.5 hours. All right, guys. See you guys in the next one, and thank you for watching. Take care.